Hi, this is Nathan, your neighborhood arcade and pinball talk guide. Today we're going to be reviewing 2001 by Gottlieb through virtual pinball. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this review underway, shall we? And right off the bat, you can kind of see that the paddle gap is a little wider there on this actual virtual pinball. The table is set up pretty decently. I mean, for it being an older table, falls out very easy. No manga saves on this one. Theme looks pretty good. Colors are bright. Paddle response is a little slower, but that's to be expected. Again, this table right here was made back in the 70s, so it's a little bit different than a normal table as you see them today. There is a nice little block in the middle there, as you just saw. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult to get to the back. And it's also going to cause the ball to go right down the middle, just like that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult on here. One thing I do got to say about some of the older games that we play is the fact that there's generally not a soundtrack. That's something that we score on in our reviews, as well as table mechanics. And of course, older pinballs, the mechanics are very well put together. They're just older, as you see here. So this is just a good representation of what the older tables look like through a virtual pinball. And you get the older sounds to it as well. But again, these tables generally will have 3 to 5 balls on them. You're going to ball out a heck of a lot more on these just because of the dynamics of what's going on here. But this paddle gap is actually at its furthest. I mean, a newer pinball like Ghostbusters has a pretty wide paddle gap, and people gave it a lot of flack due to that. But in reality, I mean, the paddle gaps on some of these older tables were actually severely wide, thus allowing you to put more money into the machines, which was meant for you to do. I mean, that was what they were created for, is another form of gambling back in the day. But anyway, 2001 by Gottlieb, definitely a fun little game. I mean, on virtual pinball, you could play this thing all day. It's definitely a fun one. So anyway, please look for our review under the description of the video today, as well as like us on Facebook under groups, Arcade and Pinball Talk. Follow us on Instagram, Arcade and Pinball, or it's Arcade Pinball Talk, as well as subscribe on YouTube. But thank you again for watching today, and we look forward to your next video.